Hi friends, this is Gail O'Neill, and I teach stamping. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so tonight I'll be doing some cards with Peaceful Poinsettia, Timeless Tidings, and I'll be using Glycerin to show you how to color. This is a card that I did. All this was colored with Glycerin and the color, and you'll see the difference. I'll show you a few different ways. This card, I did the background with Glycerin, and you've seen me sponge it before. But what I wanted to show you, which is a little extra, if I can find where I put it, is the paste. So this is the shimmery white embossing paste. And what I did with it was put some in a bag. And I'm thinking that because this hardened already, and there's no air in here, that this is going to stay for the next time I want to use it. But what I did is just like a little bakery bag. So either I have to recut it or we'll see. But I just pushed it all to the corner. And here it comes. And then I was able to just go along my card and put it in spots. And then I kind of smushed it down. So then I took this, rather than trying to apply it with that, and I think it kind of worked out good. And you can do some Christmas balls with it. If you wanted to put some in a few different bags and put some ink refill into it to make them certain colors. So, and then when it dries, you know, it's all good. But it was just for me, I said, let me try it and see if it's a little bit easier to work with that way. And it's not bad at all. Okay, so that was one of the cards. I quickly showed you this one. And let me move this aside so we can get stamping. So I'm going to do a card, then I'm going to show you some technique, and then I'm going to do another card. So this is one of the cards that I came up with. Let me just get everything here. And of course, I didn't score this. I don't know why. So let me do that. So it's all ready. And that was scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to set that aside. And what I did with this one, and this is just, you know, a quick coloring. I used shaded spruce, and I stamped it in 3 places. So I did the middle first, and then made one a little higher, and then the next one. Now, I have been coloring with Glycerin for a few years now, and how I've always done it is I'll take some ink from a marker and put it on plastic. Usually works the best, so I just grab a CD case, or this is a cover to one of my little cases. I put a drop of Glycerin in the middle. I'll add a little more, so I don't know if you can really see that it's there, but I just put some Glycerin in the middle. And then I use our good old blender pens. So you want to make sure, well, I'm using green, and that's what's coming off of it. So I pick up a little bit onto the end, and then I pick up my ink. So with this, I just stroked it down like that. And the reason I like this better, let me just show you on this other card. If I take and stamp this again, I should have had this ready. If I take this and stamp it, and I'll just do one. And then say I want to use my marker. It's really dark and you lose a lot of it. There is times that you want that look, which is fine, but sometimes you just want a shadow, or when you're coloring in something, you don't want it so dark. So this, and it makes it glide. And if I want it to be a little darker, I can just pick up some extra ink. But it goes on so smooth. Well, I will make this because I made the other one a little bit darker. But it just glides across. It only takes a few seconds more for it to dry. So then I took this little snow background and I used, what did I use? Pool Party. So let me set this aside for a second. And I stamped off and then kind of made it a little darker at the top. So I got a little bit of snow. And this came out of, I did use a few more. This one came out of Beautiful Blizzard. It was this stamp right here. So then I took May This Season Be Filled and also stamped that. Where did I just put it? Shaded Spruce. So it's really basically this is another quick card. And I don't always stamp easy, but I do like simple cards. Whoops. Glad I was done and that came off. Except it's now on my finger. Okay. I'm glad I don't need that one again. So let me move this also. And my tape. So we're going to throw this together. And then I'm going to show you some other coloring technique. So that is a piece of DSP at 5 1/4 by 4. And just put that on there. And I'm a little bit over, so I'm going to trim that. And then what I did is I took the twine, and it's not one of my cheat bows, so bear with me. Bear with me and my fingers. Ta-ta-ta. Okay, and it doesn't matter how, it's not bad, because what I also did to it was cut open the bow part, like that. And then I kind of took my bone folder and kind of frayed it a little bit. And then this with my dimensionals. Look at that. I cut down on them a little bit. Let's try that again. Try and get it even. Okay, and then, and this is going to run out, and I have a new one sitting there waiting for me. So quick and easy. So just quickly adding some color. So that's one. So what I want to show you, let me get rid of this, because you know how I love to wear ink. Okay. So there's a few ways that you can do this. Now you've seen me when I do backgrounds. If you're going to be doing a lot, you know, it kind of makes sense to do this. Put your glycerin down. You can put other colors there as well. You can also use, I mean, you do have two sides, so you don't have to keep cleaning it off if you're going to be switching back and forth. But again, pick up some of that. Now I can move some over here if I want it lighter. I can pick up some color if I want to make it darker. If I want it lighter, I can, you know, keep spreading it out a little bit. So let's see where we're at. Now this one I stamped in gray. But can you see how smooth that goes on? Now, let me get one that maybe doesn't have glycerin. I mean, there is glycerin in the markers in them themselves. It's part of the recipe, but I don't think it's a lot. So if I just pick up color to color, see how dark? I mean, I may as well use the marker. You also, you know, get streaks, not as bad as if you're coloring directly from that. But if you're coloring in like a big space, and you're trying to fill in everything, you get all those lights and darks and, you know, where you don't want them. So let me go back to this one, because it's all broken in already. And let me go here so I can show you. So I can start at the bottom and then pull up for a lighter, but I can also go back and add a little bit more. So there's your, like your watercoloring look. And because it's the glycerin, it's gliding smoothly. Now this side, you know, is lighter. I can leave it that way, or I can, you know, go back and add some more just to even that up. If I'm doing, let me try the other side. Yep, there's the green. So whoops, wrong side. Here, I'm going to pick up from here. And a lot of times you don't have to worry. I mean, we do a lot of straight coloring anyway, so you don't have to worry about the shading. You just want to get color in, and this does it smoothly. And it doesn't have to be that dark color that's right out of this. Sometimes you just don't want that. Oops, I almost went into the red. But I just wanted to show you, you know, a little bit of that. Now, this was on gray, because I'm still trying to decide sometimes what I want to stamp it in. And then I'm going to do something in black, so we can kind of see the difference for that no line coloring look. So although this isn't really that technique, it kind of is, but you are seeing a little bit of the what you stamped it, whichever color. I kind of like this one. Now this was crumb cake, and I stamped off and then stamped it. And I like that look. I like it a lot. Let me switch to the red, and then yeah, this is kind of it. You see a little bit of it. But no matter where I go, I'm getting that smooth look. No lines, no muss, no fuss. Yeah, I like this color, definitely crumb cake. So I'm going to finish coloring this later, and then I'm going to make a card with it, like kind of like I did my last video, and I posted it the next day. But let's see on black when you're using, you know, more colors. So we'll do something, let's do, so nice. And then you can, you know, go in here, do every other one, make that match. But you're just getting a nice light color. And I'm not even shading, but you can shade. So I just want to do a little orange nose. And that I'm going to do direct, with the nose that stands out. But what's nice about, you know, this is that I can scribble a lot of different colors. You can mix your colors. That's real light. I can bring out the darkest espresso. So now, let me just clean that off. So I can grab a little of that, and we'll go to another spot. I can pick up some of that dark, but I don't want it that dark, so I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. And then say you were doing his body and you want some blue, but you don't want to do his whole body. Just want some. You know what? I'm going to grab another one so I don't have to clean all that red off. It's an older one. Let's see that side. Alright, so I want this really light. Just some shading. And then some in the, whoa, I grabbed the brown. Sometimes you get too many colors and you go, oops. Okay, can you see how light that is? Let me see when it catches up. So it looks like a shadow. He's still white, but he's got a little bit more to him. So that's another one. I'll finish. I'll show you one that I did do. And this I kind of copied except for the background. This was on Pinterest, and they did no coloring, and I did a little, and I sponged the background. But I twisted a little bit. Instead of keeping it smooth, I wanted it to look like it was a little blistery out. So, and then I had taped the sides. I love glycerin. I really do. Okay, let's go to the other card. So this is the card, and I did this part differently. This one I went as if I was going to cut, and some of them started to fall out, so I have them really taped in the background. The other one I put through with our, what are they called? Embossing mats. So I like both looks, but if they're going to start falling out, I'm not sure how to, my machine cuts really well. So I don't know how to do it where they're all going to really stay in. Some of the dies they do and some they don't. And one I couldn't find after it fell out. But we're going to recreate that, and I will quickly, hopefully quickly do that background. So this is also with, if I can find the stamp. I get messier and messier, I think. Okay, so this is stamping a background. So pick some place to start, and then you just want to keep turning. Turn your stamp so that you're going different directions and it looks random. And you always want to go a little bit off the paper, and that kind of pulls it out instead of pulling it in. It's a hard concept for beginners when they're first learning how to stamp. Okay, and I will do this too, because this will be a little faster. And that's a lot of ink. That would probably color a few of them. Okay, so again, we're going to grab some glycerin and then quickly. And at first when I was doing this card, I thought of just not coloring it and leaving it the way it was, which would still be an okay look. God, it's hot in here. You guys hot? Oh, dying. And my heat isn't even on yet. So I think with the glycerin, it makes it much faster coloring. And because you're doing kind of a watercolor look, you don't have to worry if you go out a little bit or you don't get the whole image, you know, colored. I just definitely find it faster. And you can always go back and, you know, spots that you want it a little darker. If you're coloring in, I want to say like on baby clothes, on, you know, a little, one of the baby cards, it's much easier to get your color in, because it just glides. Hope I'm in frame. Yeah, I am. Okay, so that's starting to get a little lighter, so I'm going to pull some more. And it goes a long way too. Excuse me a second, I have to turn my fan on. Before I drip water on my project. Stop laughing at me, guys. I know some of you are in the same boat. And I want to move to Florida. I just hate the winters. I know coloring is, even though I'm going pretty fast, it's kind of boring to watch somebody color. Okay, so then I just took, maybe I won't do it direct. Yeah, I like it direct. I like this darker. So we'll just get those little, whatever they're called. You know, the little Jewish girl here. Forgets what it's all called. Holly? Holly balls. See, when you're Jewish, it's holly. And you eat it. Okay, I think I got them all. Alright, away with all of you. And then I took and put my finger in the ink. Alright, let's stick that up there. So let's mount this and get it out of the way. So this was 5 by 3 3/4, my normal, 5 1/8 by, no, 3 7/8. Oh, I can't even think tonight again. I'll put it all down for you. It'll all be there. I cannot think. At least I'm starting to cool off a little bit. Okay, so this, I already put these together. These came out of First Frost. And I put them on the back. At least I had something prepared. You know, I never know what I'm going to do really until the day of my live. And then I rush home from the hospital and run into this room and get it all done. Okay, so that went about there. And then on the original card, that die cuts, you know, like a border. And so I did one in the white and then one in the green. This one I decided to just do the large one and just mount it. I thought, what the heck. So Christmas Wishes. And again, in the green, Shaded Spruce. It's so good, it's like you can wear it. Whew, that's good because I only cut one. And then put that on there. And I think I'll use some dimensionals on that too. Just a little smudge. That is not even. Okay, so I'm going to bring these back in. And the other one, let's get rid of one. So that was a little bit of coloring with glycerin. At some point I'll have more for you. And thanks for joining me tonight. I didn't even say hello to... Is Joyce here? Joyce Babcock? Joyce. Let me see if I have it. Joyce sent me something the other day. And it was done with sparklers and a mask. And I said, I think I can recreate that. I think what I'll do is I'll post it to the to this site. The video she sent me, and then I'll put the card. But that's what I came up with, Joyce. I'm glad you're here to see it. So, again, thanks for joining me tonight, and I'll see you on Sunday, right before The Walking Dead. Good night.